Hello friends, welcome to the lecture on regular expressions. This is the part 2 lecture on regular expression. In the first part we had seen how we can match as well as use the not match operators along with few of the special characters. Today we will see there are various escape sequences that are available in regular expressions. Do watch this particular part pretty carefully. These would be very much used and needed as and when you build your own regular expressions. So let us see what are the escape sequences that are available. So in order to escape any particular character in a regular expression, you can simply use slash. So for example, in our previous lecture, we had seen star or addition as a special character that is used in regular expression. So if that particular character is seen in a regular expression, so it will actually try to do something which is really associated with that particular character. So if there is a plus sign that is seen, it will go ahead and match either one or many of those number of characters that is there inside that particular pattern. But if we need to match a plus sign in a string or in our data source, then we need to use the escape character, that is slash. We have already used this, and this remains the escape character still remains the same even across your regular expressions. Now, what is slash d? Slash d here means 0 to 9. We'll see in detail, but as of now, you can understand whenever we use slash d in a regular expression, it will try to match a number either from 0 to 9. Similarly, slash capital D, it tries to match anything and everything apart the characters, that is apart the numbers from 0 to 9. Now, if we want to match something like this particular data, that is 0 to 9, A to Z in small letters and capital letters A to Z followed by an underscore. So you can use slash W. W would be in small. If you want to match anything apart from this, you can use slash W in caps. To match a particular white space, you'll simply use slash S. To match a tab, you will simply use slash T. Now, to match anything which is apart from a white space, simply use a capital S. Okay, these are a few of the boundary values that we have discussed here, which is basically slash B. We'll work into this particular boundary value analysis, how exactly this boundary value analysis work. This is nothing but a more on the part that we have learned how to use a dollar and a caret sign. So how we search right at the start of a string, how we search right at the end of the string. So we'll look into this particular aspect more in detail, but as of now you can understand to match particular pattern right at the boundaries of your string or your data source, you need to have slash b's inculcated in your regular expressions. Now what we'll do is we'll code the most important aspects, that are slash d, slash w, slash s, and we'll see how exactly these particular part work. So we'll go ahead and do some live coding here. We'll now first create a particular file. Let's name it as regular expression part 2. Okay, so I would say regex part2.pl. Now what we'll do is first quickly we'll see how we can match numbers in our particular string. So let's say $str has a string. Hi, this is an integer string. Okay, and inside this we'll simply say some kind of an integer. Let's say 45. This is an integer string having value equal to 45. So now you have got a string here. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll try to search for a particular pattern. That is, we'll try to search if this particular string has a integer or it has a number between 0 to 9. So what we'll do is we'll use $str, we'll use the match operator. Inside the forward slashes we'll define a pattern. So our pattern says slash d. Okay, now this slash d will match one particular number. in order to match multiple numbers, as we had discussed in our previous chapter, we'll simply add a plus sign here. So what it says is match 0 to 9, match 0 to 9, and it can be one or many. Okay. So now let's go ahead and execute this particular pattern. We'll simply get this result here inside my dollar result, that is equal to this, and we'll go ahead and print the result. Print, I would say, slash d result, and that would be dollar result. So now let's go ahead and execute this particular piece of code. So we have regex part2.pl. Now you can see slash d result is equal to 1. Let's remove the addition sign and let's see what we get. We'll again get 1 because it was successfully able to match 45 or any one number here. Now what if we remove this 45 from here, and we'll see what happens. It was not able to match anything in this particular string. This is because there was no integer that was available in this particular string. So whenever you want to match a particular number or string number inside your data source, you can safely use slash d. Okay, the alternative to slash d, as in our previous lecture we had clearly discussed about character class. So what exactly we mean by character class? I said character class can be made using square brackets, open and close square brackets. So now it is pretty simple. Inside these square brackets, what I need to match? I need to match numbers between 0 to 9. So let's go ahead and see how exactly this would work like. So I would say this particular result is, now you can see result is 1. Why? Because I had given a condition saying match a pattern that has, I mean, inside this particular string that has numbers that is 0 to 9. Now if I specify a addition sign, it will still go ahead and match. But now what if I specify a question mark sign? Let's see what happens here. So in this case, yeah, so I'm saying 0 to 9, 0 to 9, it should be either 0 or 1. So it has actually got 0 or 1. So it has successfully got 1, and hence it was able to match. So these are, so you can use those special characters inside your character class or with some special escape sequence characters, that is slash d and so on and so forth, to actually go ahead and match various conditions inside your string or inside your data source. So similar to slash d, we can have a slash w word. So now how do we see a slash w in our live example? So slash w, as I said, it will match anything that has, you can say, anything with 0 to 9 or ABC, I mean A to Z in caps or in probably the capital letters or in non-capital letters, and an underscore sign. So I would say here, this is, hi, this is an integer string having value 45 and an underscore that would be something like this. So now what I'll do is I'll replace this all with a slash w. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and see how exactly this works here in this particular case. So let's say I'm executing this, and you can see slash w, I'm getting a result as 1. Now what if I remove this underscore sign and see what exactly the output would look like. So again it was able to match something here. Now I'll remove 45. As we had seen, it was able to match an underscore 0 to 9 and A to Z. So still it was able to find, or it was able to match a pattern for this particular string. Now what I'll do is I'll simply go ahead and remove this particular string from here, or what we'll do is we'll actually go ahead and create another string. So for this particular case itself, so I'll simply write here as a new string, and what we'll do is we'll rename this particular string as string 1. Okay, in this case now we have seen it was able to match 45 underscore, as well as it is able to match anything that is A to Z and caps A to Z. Now what we'll do is we'll simply remove this string, and we'll create a string of, for example, it has a star. Okay, it has a star, multiple stars. Okay, multiple dollar signs, multiple stars, for example, as of now, and we'll see how exactly this would look like. So this was not able to, it was not able to match these stars. Now in order to match these stars, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and use the capital slash W, as we had discussed in our PPT, that it matches anything that the smaller slash W doesn't match. So let's go ahead and see how exactly this would look like. So now you can see capital slash W goes ahead and matches this particular string. So remember friends, slash W or W in small would actually go ahead and match the following character class. I'm just simply making a comment here so that it's pretty easy to understand. It will match an underscore followed by 0 to 9, followed by small a to z, and in caps A to Z. So it will go ahead and match anything that is there in, or it will match a pattern, that the pattern inside a string which would look like this. So if anything is available, the pattern would go ahead and match successfully, or it will be a successful match. So remember, in case you need to match anything apart from this, you can simply use the W in caps. Now we were able to see slash D, we were able to see W. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and see how exactly the sequence or the escape sequence which is related to the white space works in Perl. So the escape sequence uh, that is used for white space is basically slash s. Okay. So now what we'll do is this particular string has white spaces in this particular case. So what we'll do, we'll simply copy this particular string or this particular block of code here, and we'll work it out for white space. So the pattern would be slash s plus, okay, or slash s for that matter. Now we'll see how exactly slash s works here. So if I execute this, it would go ahead and print 1 because the string had a lot of spaces here. Now let's say I'm creating another string, that is $str1, and I'm trying to match this particular string here. In this case, there are no spaces. So let's say my string is A B C D E F G H I. So in this case, if I try to match slash s, okay, let's see what the outcome would look like. Oops. Okay. I'll simply go ahead, declare it here. Now we can again copy this and we would print it here. Now we'll see. Okay, I think I missed a semicolon somewhere. Okay, right here. So now let's go ahead and execute it. Now you can see the result in both these cases. We have, yeah, in this particular case, in slashes, we've got the result. We were not able to match anything in this particular case. Why exactly this has happened? Because slashes says I am able to match spaces in a particular given string. So I'm sorry. Now you can see here. So in the first case, we were able to match because there were spaces in this particular string. But in the second case, right here, where our string didn't have spaces, it was able to say that the pattern was not matched successfully in for this particular variable or for this particular string A B C D E F G H I. So slashes helps us to match spaces in our string or in our data source. Now, for example, slash capital S, it matches anything apart from spaces. So what we'll do is we'll simply go ahead and copy this, and in this case I'm simply using slash S in caps. Okay. Now let's see how exactly this works. So it was able to match this particular pattern. Why? Because it is matching anything that is apart from space. Okay. So in case it had spaces, it won't have been possible to match with or using this particular condition. So these are few of the escape sequences that are available in Perl, or that are available for regular expressions in Perl. We'll see boundary value conditions in detail in our next lecture. Thank you, friends. I'll see you guys at the next lecture.